I, Meghan, take you to be my to to
Have from this day forward, let us work. Work.
to
Let us depart. According to God's holy law.
That was not a happy day for the United Kingdom. Now people don't even want to look back at that wedding. People don't even want to look at that because even with my dislike for Prince Harry, given what he did to the Queen and everybody else, even then, for some reason, I feel like, it's like when you see somebody with limited or, who's considered with very low IQ and you can see people taking advantage of that. I really feel that way when I see him when they're taking the oath, I swear you can see Doria in the background and Meghan Markle, and you can see the real happiness that he has for that. And I almost feel it's at least for me, I don't know about you, but please leave in the comments. But it feels really cringe to look back at this because now that we know what we know, it's not a happy occasion, is it? And Harry feels almost, looking at Harry, you feel almost like you're watching somebody with mental disabilities being taken advantage by somebody, that's the feeling I get. I don't know about you, but I get that feeling. The list of lovers that I'm about to tell you are just a few. These are not the ones containing her Soho trip. No, they're not. These are from pretty much what is almost a lot of times true. This is from 2011 till 2016, till August 2016. From that time forward, we don't know if Meghan Markle has been cheating on Harry, but you'll be the judge giving this long list of lovers. I mean, this woman was very busy. And I mean, I can't believe Harry wasn't just eating out of second, slops, like sloppy seconds. He was sloppy third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 10th, 11th. I mean, I am very surprised that Harry hasn't checked himself for, like sexually transmitted disease. Because Meghan Markle, and she strikes me as the kind of girl who, she doesn't care about protection. But I mean, let's get into this list because it's actually quite shocking. And I'm not a prude or anything like that. The reason why this matters is because Meghan Markle puts herself out there to be as this angelical person. You know that she got married with a long white veil, which makes it even worse because when you wear the veil like that, you're a virgin. Or, that's your only man you've been with. We know that that's not the case with Meghan Markle. That is not the case at all.
I wanted a place where I could share these great experiences I'm able to have and make it inspirational for people, but also a reminder that it's all attainable. Like I didn't grow up with this kind of lifestyle or being interviewed or having fancy things. Like that is all very new. And so to be able to show like, you want that, you could totally have that.
Do you want to know how manipulative Meghan Markle is? For people, I don't think she's very smart. If she were smart, if she were intelligent, she would be in a whole different situation, wouldn't it be? But she's not that intelligent. She's not that smart. But she is that narcissistic. She is that much of a narcissist. And she is cunning. It's like a little mouse that's a little cunning. But it gets to a place that is too large a stage for her. But let me tell you a little bit about this. According to Tom Bauer, Meghan Markle, I believe, got married to Trevor Engelson August 16th, 2011. She didn't invite either of her parents. Yeah, neither Doria nor Thomas Markle. Nobody. And not only that, she insisted that the marriage itself, everything about the marriage, can only be disclosed with a court order. It cannot be part of the public record. And this is when Meghan Markle was a nobody, guys. This is according to Tom Bauer, that she insisted that their marriage be kept secret and can only be disclosed with a court order. She didn't want people to know that. I don't think she really wanted to marry Trevor, but I think that she just, had nothing else going on because Suits wasn't sure whether the Suits were going to be picked up for a second season or anything like that. So he was her backup plan. And from what we understand, according to what Mr. Markle said, I'm only going by what he said, at the wedding, at their Jamaican wedding with Trevor Engelson, she didn't want when they got the video, of the wedding, she destroyed the video. The only photos that survived were the ones that Mr. Markle took against her wishes. So that's how manipulative this woman was, because she wanted to, when the marriage was over with Trevor, to erase it from the memory that it never existed. That's how terrible this woman is. So she's very manipulative. So from 2011, we know because I can't show you the pictures. Do you guys remember the video, my video that was taken down and I got a copyright strike, guys, for that video? I showed you pictures of her at the Hamptons with, what's it called? This famous actress that did this License to Wed with Robin Williams, of which Trevor Engelson was the producer, and they spent time in Jamaica. She was at the Hamptons. Meghan Markle was not, I don't know, after 2017, when she married Prince Harry, I don't know if she became a member of the Soho House, but she wasn't a member. She was always a guest. She was always a +1. She didn't have that, and they didn't want her. She was just a carpet filler. When they flew her to Turkey for the opening of the Soho House, she was flown there to work. She was a carpet filler to entertain VIPs with whatever they wanted for that weekend. Because nobody flies you like that unless, yeah. So we're going to start that in 2011, Meghan Markle already knew Harvey Weinstein. She already knew Harvey Weinstein. That's a given. Mandy Moore. Her name is Mandy Moore. Because Mandy Moore, Robin Williams, Jennifer Garner, this guy Kaczynski, who's married with Emily Blunt, that's how long ago. They weren't even that major stars. I believe that Robin Williams was kind of coming into he wanted to jump from being a comedian to doing other stuff, That's how long ago it was that the main star was Mandy Moore. It wasn't even Jennifer Garner, no, Ron Kaczynski. So yes, so from 2011, we're going to take it from 2011 because we know that in 2011, she married Trevor. So in 2011, she married Trevor. At least for 2011, we know, or we think, she was faithful to him. The problem started when she moved to Toronto because she didn't want to be with him anymore. Out of all the actors in Suits, she was the only one who didn't want to stay in LA because they said, you know what, for your kind of role, it's actually cheaper for you not to be here, because if we see this, George the Giant Slayer, who saw the Suits thing, saw that she was there for only 138 minutes, all seasons, guys. Okay, so not very much. So she's married to Trevor Engelson. In 2012, the problems start. The problems start because Meghan Markle starts hanging around with Corey Vitiello. She meets Jessica Mulrooney. And she meets Jessica Mulrooney, and then she meets Marcus Anderson. She's introduced to Marcus Anderson by Jessica Mulrooney. Jessica Mulrooney, she introduced her to Michael Bubble. And it seems that Michael Bubble could have been one of her lovers, but it's not confirmed. Which is why probably he couldn't stand to see her. This is probably why he acted so weirdly around her. Because when he went with Harry, because it's like you can see Meghan Markle how she was around him. And if he did her, then, that's not a good sign, is it? But it was rumored that she hung around with Michael Bublé, but I'm not going to put him in the official list yet. That's going to be a possible. So we have Trevor Engelson that we know she married. In 2012, in February, when Jessica Mulroney introduces her to Corey Vitiello, we know how Meghan operates. She moves fast. She pretty much, this happened really quickly. Okay, she even wrote about him in the TIG, and she was like, oh, great. But she has this peculiarity that as soon as she starts seeing the men, before she sees them, or she starts dating or doing them, she's all praises and this and that. She wrote about him in the TIG and blah. But once she does them, or once she screws them, it's like they don't exist anymore because she has to keep her options open. So we have Trevor Engelson. She did Harvey Weinstein. In 2012, she was at Soho through a party for The Imitation. I think it was The Imitation Game or some movie that it was there. Harvey Weinstein was with Harvey Weinstein production. And Meghan Markle was seen with Harvey Weinstein. Meghan Markle was also seen with Harvey Weinstein in 2008, 2008, 2006 at the Hamptons when she was still at Northwestern University. So she was at the Hamptons hanging around those parties when she was still at university. I think, let me see. No, she wasn't at university. Sorry, I'm wrong. She just got out of university. That was in 2006. Yeah, she just got out of university. See, you have to keep track with me, guys. So we know that she's been with Harvey Weinstein. Trevor Engelson was her married man. At the beginning of 2012, she hooks up with Corey Vitiello. She enters in a relationship with Corey Vitiello. I'm not going to talk to you about the weekends, the trip to Hong Kong, the 7 trips to Dubai, the other trips and she went on her own with other yachters, okay? And the Croatia yachter thing. We're just going to talk the real ones here. So she hooked up with Trevor Engelson, her husband. We start with Harvey Weinstein. Then we go to Trevor Engelson. Then we go to Corey Vitiello. Now she moves really quickly in a relationship with Corey Vitiello. And then she's also sweet talking, Peter Holland, a hockey player that was 8 years her junior. Okay? To the point that Peter Holland posts Meghan Markle, apparently they were doing her. He was doing her, chatting and doing her. When he found out that she was still married in November, and listen to this, the month is very important, is November 2013, when he finds out about it. He found out about it in November 2013, that Meghan Markle was still married to Trevor Engelson. But apparently they've been chatting for months while she was living with Corey Vitiello. Meghan Markle was spending months on end in London, flying to New York. Yes, apparently she did meet at Jeffrey, but I don't think she would have been his type because she was too old for him at the time. But she did meet him, and she did go to a few dinners at his house. And also Jeffrey came to Soho House because, of course, he was a member. And very good friends with Ron Burkle because Ron Burkle bought Soho House in 2012. And that's when Meghan Markle really took off. So she has, with Corey Vitiello, and she's coming to London, getting interviewed by people, by reporters, and saying that she's single, that she needs to meet a man. This is 2012 when she was supposed to have been happily married to Trevor Engelson. Because Trevor Engelson got the paper, got the rings, the two rings and an envelope with no note. And then by February, they were divorced because they had no children, no assets, nothing was done so quickly. It was very brutal. So Meghan Markle is with Corey Vitiello, who pretty much moves into her house. And she even met her parents and stuff like that. His family and stuff. So he's with Corey Vitiello. At the same time, she's with Peter Holland. And she's with Miguel de Soto, which is another hockey player. At the same time, she met Rory McIlroy. And then she was doing a little movie on the side as well, where she hooked up with Robert Pattinson, the guy from Twilight. At the same time, she goes to New York and she hooks up with Matt Lauer because they spent hours in his, whatever you want to call it, in this little room where they were filming, and pretty much everybody knew what that meant. I'm just looking at them at this thing. So far we have Trevor Engelson, Harvey Weinstein, Corey Vitiello, and Jack Rosenberg. Jack Rosenberg, that infamous, yes, and if this name sounds familiar to you guys, it's because Meghan Markle had him flown to California to get pictures of her and the children while Harry was away. So if that name sounds familiar, there you go. He was inseparable. She would go see him and he would take naked pictures of her, and he's not gay, guys. But they had something going on for sure. That's one of them. Now, I know that many of you are going to be very surprised for this. But according to a lot of people, Marcus Anderson is not 100% gay. He is bisexual. He is bisexual. And apparently, Meghan Markle spent quite a few nights with this man when she was in London. And she went to other places. And apparently, they did get together. Because he's not, I can't corroborate that, but yes. She also hooked up with this elderly man who took her to the White House to meet Barack Obama. She did have something with that elderly man. Now, she worked as a caddy. We know that she was auctioned there and she was very much loved. We know that she hooked up with Rory McIlroy. So we have all of these people. Now, we have Gabor Urena. That's a very famous photographer. And she took off with him to, I think it was with him that she took off to Ghana or Rwanda, whatever. And they would disappear for hours on end into the bushes, and she would come up looking all disheveled. And apparently he's also bisexual. We know because I've had Kevin Blatt in my show, and I will leave the link for you to go watch that video, where she hooked up with this other photographer. And as Kevin Blatt puts it, even him who has been around, the corn with a P industry, he thought that was pretty brutal and pretty hardcore. I will leave the video linked here so you can go watch it. It's with Kevin Blatt. And this is a man who basically leaked Paris Hilton's sex tape. And he leaked Paris Hilton's sex tape, and she sued him and she won $20 million. But, and then Kris Jenner came to him because she wanted him to leak Kim Kardashian's tape, but then he took too long thinking about it, and then he received that sex tape, and from somebody in Canada that he verified was very well connected. It was a real thing, and it was this model, because Meghan Markle didn't even name herself as an actress. She named herself as a model, and she was going pretty hard at it, doing coke and all kinds of things with this photographer. So far we have Weinstein, Engelson, Vitiello, Rosenberg, Anderson, McElroy, Matt Lauer, Robert Pattinson, Peter Holland, Miguel de Soto, Fitzpatrick Gentleman, Gabor Urena, and Prince Andrew, because apparently, to a few sources, Meghan Markle got together with Prince Andrew in New York, September 2013, when Eugenie moved there, and Prince Andrew he managed to do something, and she did hook up with him. Apparently, yes, she did hook up with him. And we have from Victoria, what's it called? What's the name of that guy? The woman that sued Virginia Giuffre, who wanted to subpoena Meghan Markle because she knew Prince Andrew intimately and had seen stuff or was part of stuff around him. So we have Prince Andrew as well, and we have an anonymous photographer. This is from 2011 till 2016, September 2016, because when she came back from Botswana in 2016 with Harry, she broke up with Corey. And Corey, they officially broke up, and he moved out of her house, his stuff, around the end of August, because Meghan Markle thought that she had secured that idiot called the prince. So in 2016, while she was still living with Corey Vitiello, she was still dating Rory McIlroy, because Corey Vitiello was having a lot of problems with her. Okay, and this is when she went to Ireland and she went to the One World thing. This is So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 lovers. This is without counting. I am not including here the ones in yachting, because let's not forget that tweet. So from 2011 till mid 2016, that's 4 years. That's at least 4 lovers a year, of that, the ones that we know of, because there were others that she was with. As I said, I don't understand how Prince Harry doesn't have an STD. I don't understand why he hasn't been checked for AIDS or anything like that, because from what some of these people, especially the photographer that did Meghan Markle, the one that who's Kevin Blatt saw the tape, they weren't wearing any protection. And apparently Meghan Markle was game for everything. How disgusting is this, that this woman is part of the royal family? How disgusting is that this woman was around our queen, stood in that balcony, and that she even deigned to belittle everybody, the traditions and everything around the world, because this hoe thinks that she's above everybody else. Meghan Markle, in my very humble opinion, and I'm sure that the royal family knew all of this, because I'm sure that, I mean, she was part of the Soho House, and the royal family is intimately linked to the Soho House, because King Charles is very good friends with Ron Burkle. He attended the turkey opening of the Soho House. He opened the latest club, part of the Soho House empire in the United Kingdom, as the only club he's opened. And one of the first thing he did when he became king was go eat lunch at Soho House. When he's the king, they come to see him. He doesn't go and see them. But what do you guys think? I mean, how can this be? And now that we look back at that wedding, how, it's with all these men that I told you about, and these are just the ones that we know of, because apparently Meghan was known for going around and doing other stuff as well. How disgusting is it, isn't it? And it's even more ridiculous that she got married wearing a wedding veil, the whitest gown that's been produced. A mockery. And a mockery. I mean, she made a mockery of the entire exercise. And you know what's really funny? You know why this woman said that she married that 3 days before, and that the other thing was the spectacle? Because when she got married in August 2016, that was a civil wedding, and it was just her and Trevor and 2 anonymous witnesses. And then she had the celebration in September. So because she'd done that, she thought it was the same with the royal family. That's why she was confused and said, we married 3 days. No, because she'd done it in her first wedding, so she thought that worked that way, but it doesn't